the best in the South. New Orleans, you can't beat New Orleans, and then New York City, and then for the big cities, L.A. has a pretty amazing like Japanese and Asian and Mexican, and then the Northwest, Seattle has a really great.
So Asian's kind of your food vibe right
That's
now?
what I do.
Yeah.
And then Taiwan for Asia is the sickness because it's everything, like all these little like every retailer is like just specific to like one dish. And there's so many just one dish restaurant places, and you just walk through these like food walls that are just like the best thing on the planet. And then in Germany, the food, Italy is the best in Europe, I think.
Really?
I go to Greece, and it's kind of traditional, just like souvlaki cafes. And Berlin is really interesting food. Like, they're kind of competing with, like, the New Yorks. And but Western Europe, their food's so fucking bland. It's like...
Doesn't do it?
No, it's just like goulash. And, like, I don't know. I'm not really into...
Like a hodgepodge of dishes?
Yeah, I like salt, and I like...
He's a southerner at heart.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I love salt, yeah.
Fried things, and just, like, gyro meat. Like, I'll have a doner if I could, every day.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing we're missing out on over here in the U.S.
Yeah.
I lived in London for a couple years.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, just going by and getting a doner kebab, like, fuck.
Yeah, I know. It's the best.
Yeah.
It's perfect after getting wasted. It's like gives you everything you need, and I think that's what started the acid reflux over the heartburn. Because I've just smashed like two fucking donors, so hungry.
Yeah, those things are always open late night for when like everybody leaves the club or something like that. It's
the
great.
food is so gross in Europe. Like we were calling it the starvation tour because we would just like not eat. And we just wait for Doner to be open, and Doner's only they think we're animals because we want to eat Doner at 2 p.m. and they're like, you fucking American animals. It's like those Doner places are only open at 10 o'clock. I'm like, okay, well, I better get 2 of them then.
That reminds me of the honey butter chicken biscuit. As someone who hasn't had it, I don't even know what the fuck it is.
What is it?
A Doner? What's
honey
a doner?
butter?
No. What are y'all talking about? What's a Doner?
It's like a gyro.
Oh, okay.
But like the Turkish, the Turkish do the meat. It's kind of like carne asada or El Pastor for like Lebanese.
They just shave it off. Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was like, what are they talking about? But it's just a late night serving that you just want to eat all the time.
Yeah.
I can understand that completely. That's fair.
Mexico City has a pretty fire music and food culture.
Yeah, love me some Mexico.
Dude, it's
Mexico
amazing,
City.
dude.
Yeah, all the food there is great. Like, the people are fucking... That city's great.
Oh, yeah. All those mezcal bars, like the bootleg mezcal bar. Like, that is a city I could live, that I could afford. And I feel like I could live really good there. Like, I can't live good in New York or, like... It's just too expensive.
Yeah, you could totally live good in Mexico City. But those mezcal bars where they don't even have bottles, they just have, like, big jugs.
Yeah, that's the shit.
It's fucking rad.
I fuck with that hard, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Boys know what's up.
There we go. And that's what our people want to hear. They want to hear like dank eats and like tour stories. I guess it's almost like horror stories in some instances.
Oh, word.
All right, well, since you mentioned tour stories, do you make any weird requests? Like,
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like your green room or your chill spot?
I fuck with people a lot.
Yes, that's what we're talking about, like the Airheads version.
Yeah.
Like, I want a football full of just green M&Ms.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. I'm in the minor league
yet.
famous. So I think they'll start being pissed off.
Like,
versus-
We're going to pass on Andy tonight.
Yeah.
Show's canceled.
You could tell when they're not fucking around because you could look at your writer, like when you're doing settlement, and you can see what they didn't guy, and it's like a bunch of X's, like no puppy, you're not getting a fucking puppy.
That's what Hoffman got. Paul Hoffman was like, one time we asked for a puppy, and the next thing you know, we started getting puppies in the green room.
Yeah, like, dude, that's what happened to me. I got puppies. I put puppies in my green room, and
that's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
So somebody just brings you a little puppy? Just for the night?
Like a puppy, like someone's dog friend has a dog, and they'll just keep it in the green room.
That's awesome.
To judge us, because they're the ultimate judgment when we're, ripping bowls and shotgun beers and drinking a bottle of Jameson. That puppy is fucking frightened, dude.
Look away.
Yeah, just like it's judging me. Can we please give it back to its mom now? What is the wildest thing you've ever asked for, though? Anything that you've gotten away with?
Drugs.
Really?
Yeah,
That's fair.
A bunch of mushrooms. When I was doing coke, we used to put it on there. It was grungy. Like
It's like the bottom of the barrel. It's like that same security guard that was smiling about a cigarette earlier is the same guy that steps on bags and sells them to Andy.
yeah, it's like it was like we put coke on the rider once, or like just drugs, because this was when I was like really addicted to cocaine, and just to see if we'd get it for free. And it was in Germany, in Berlin. Like they're like, "Oh, Mr. Frasco, I'm sorry, but we can't give you coke. But if you want coke, you could talk to the no, what is that? If you want weed, come to me. If you want Xanax, go to the bartender. And if you want coke or anything else, go to the bodyguard or whatever they call it, the doorman." It's like so cliche. And we got a bunch of speed and
Couple Xanax for the next
Dude,
day.
dude.
We call it landing gear.
yeah. The landing gear. Yeah, I was just into the speed, but.
That's great. I can see somebody like reading over the contract for a request and talking to the crew and be like, "And cocaine."
Yeah, well, you call it like
got a guy?
you call it like what were they calling it? So you put Bob Marley for weed. You put
Eric Clapton.
yeah, or I think like cocaine. Yeah, I thought it was like who married Kurt Cobain?
Courtney Love.
Courtney Love
For
was the
heroin?
coke. For heroin.
Whoops.
I'm not asking for heroin.
No, but when you say Kurt Cobain, no one's going to not think that would
Yeah,
be
true.
the parallel. But
Man, heroin's crazy.
yeah.
If you're asking for heroin in your rider, it's scary. Scary times.
I'm not gonna lie. If you're gonna be the guy that needs heroin, you better have your own connect. Like you're a pretty shitty heroin user if you don't even have a connect. Like if you're like, I'm about to go on tour but I have zero drug resources. Let's just ask all the bellhops.
How do people I don't know anything about heroin. Like, is it cheaper than opiates? Like I thought.
I don't have a clue either.
Stoned appetite.
Yeah, so we really dabble more into the cannabis and food.
Okay, cool.
And that reminds me, we didn't do any of our ad reads today, so we should do one of those. Shout out to our friends over at Seed and Smith. Andy, I know you're new to town. You've only been here a year, but one of the premier products and companies out here. You hit the vape pen earlier. We got you a pack. We got you some of the pre-rolls as well. But this thing, it grips and rips. You can find them all across the city. We like to hit them up at Starbuds in the Rhino area, but they have 2 locations themselves. They have one
It's a cool design.
Yeah, right? It's sleek. It's got a little bit of weight, so you're not as likely to leave it in your pocket when you wash your clothes. But at the same time, it's fantastic because it also strokes. They have 2 locations. They have one on Oakland Street out in Commerce City, and then they have one also they just opened in Louisville or Louisville, depending on who you are, up there a little bit north of town, 1413 Hecla Way. So go give them a shout out, go give them a try. And if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for weed, we have one person we like to send, or one place we like to send you, and that's to our friends at Callie's Cannabis.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. They have 2 locations in the downtown area, Larimer Street and 30th. So those that like to party in Rhino, that's a great place to stop off. They have daily deals as well as a rewards program that's second to none. And then they have another location on Jason Street right there at 8th and Kenosha Court, and then they have one up in the burbs for anybody that listens in North Glen. I don't know if
nice.
do you attract a lot of married moms that hang out in the burbs?
I mean, I live in Cherry Creek. That's like
There you go.
yeah, they're all my neighbors.
Well, yeah. Where do you party in Cherry Creek? Wait, that can't be where you party.
I go there when I don't want to drive anywhere. I'll go to Don's.
Yeah, there you go. Don's
I love
on Sixth.
Don's, and then if I want to like, overspend on some fucking wine or something and hear some DJ, I'll go to Forget Me Not.
Yeah, the Oyster Bar
It's
with
a little fancy, a little too pretentious for me. I hope they're not. Are they your sponsor?
No, they're
Okay,
not.
no,
You're
okay,
good.
okay.
We know that.
Yeah, a little
They're-
too pretentious, but I'll go there because it's so close to my house and go on a date or something.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's not a bad spot.
No,
And
it's a
us-
great date spot.
And we usually ask what's your favorite date spot, but because you have a little bit different forte, instead of being like a restaurateur,
Yeah.
we'll ask you maybe some different questions. We kind of hang out at dive bars. You definitely hang out at dive bars.
Yeah.
I've met you at Williams. You just mentioned Don's. Is there a dive restaurant that you like to go eat? Like, if you don't mind getting in the car,
Yeah.
what's your or what's your dinner spot in Denver?
My favorite place is Angelo's.
Okay, right
It's
down.
right next to the spot, right next to my pad, and like It's just like a community now. It's like the neighborhood. That's like the neighborhood restaurant I go to.
Well, we may have just accidentally doxed you.
It's fine. I'll roll.
I mean,
it.
they got great happy hour deals.
Oh man.
Yeah,
kill
dollar
me.
oysters, and they'll get you. I'm not really into the limoncellos. What is it? It's like tastes like
The vodka drink.
moonshine. I
The
think it's like
one-
moonshine.
Really?
It's like Italian moonshine, but it's like infused with lemon. Kind of tastes like. I'm not saying I just think all of it, all the types of limoncellos out there, especially in Italy, they just taste like shit.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about grappa.
Yeah.
Can't do grappa.
Yeah.
That shit's like jet fuel. It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, and they the Chinese have something like that. It literally tastes like gasoline. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like Malort's.
Yeah. I mean, like, y'all are Southern boys, so, like, Everclear is, like, part of your...
It was a part of
DNA?
Punch. We drank it a lot, but it wasn't like you just mixed it with Sprite willy-nilly.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
you could drink, like, shittier vodka, like Smirnoff.
Yeah, you
or
weren't showing up
Top.
to a party and somebody just had a handle of Everclear you were going to take to the dome.
I mean,
like,
that would get you up. That would send you someplace very, very dark.
I just stereotyped you. I'm so sorry about
No, it's
that.
okay,
No,
but you're
he was
you're,
like,
you're
y'all
close.
make your own moonshine?
Yeah,
Like,
you fill up a jug with a bunch of fruit and Kool-Aid packets, and then you dump in a shit ton of Everclear, and that's more up our alley.
Yeah.
it's childproof. You can, like, wear,
Where'd you guys go to
Floats.
college?
I went to Mississippi State.
Oh.
Yeah, so down in Starkville, Mississippi.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a small school, Birmingham Southern,
In Birmingham?
Alabama. Yep.
I love Birmingham, and I love Mississippi. Well, I never played in Mississippi State, though.
No, Starkville's kind of a cow town, which very familiar with the psychedelics and the mushrooms.
Yeah.
They used to have to put lime on top of our whatever it is, lime on top of the cow pastures because of our agricultural, so that students wouldn't go out there and pick all of them all the time, which your early years you could, and then later on they were like, hey, we have treated this field with lye. Do not come out here and pick mushrooms. You will die. And we were like, all right, maybe it's time to start buying those hydroponic ones.
Why? Why'd they do that? Because they don't want people on their lands?
No, it was like the school's land. They didn't want their students going out there and picking up a bunch of fucking cashew mushrooms.
Dude, we found
I mean, it was a pretty straightforward request,
Yeah.
but we obviously weren't listening the early parts.
I think I was like 10th grade in high school, and we discovered my my friend's farm was a fucking gold mine. Like, we went out there with trash bags one day, and just there was probably like 4 of us. We filled up a few trash bags, took some of them to like Auburn.
Were they
Straight-
strong?
Oh yeah.
Dude, cow
They're
shit mushrooms, like, oh, they're dirty buzzes, but it's like, it's great. It's a great buzz.
I mean, I got high as fuck off those things.
You would eat like 1 or 2 while you're picking them, and by the time you get to the car, you're like, we got to sit here for a little bit and kind of get our wits about ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you wash them, or do you just eat them straight from the
Usually
source?
Wash 'em, yeah.
dehydrate them.
Oh, are they wet? Probably.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, like, they're
fresh.
like-
I mean, we ate them fresh. We would always just like put them on like a peanut butter sandwich, or we made a lot of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I've always wanted to do
Burn
that. I've
'em.
never picked mushrooms off of shit before.
Oh, my friend, when you do play in Starkville, Mississippi, we'll go have some fun. We'll go
Hell
find
yeah.
some private farms and just run around some cow shit.
Andy
just gotta-
Frasco
you just gotta
dies
flick-
from Lyle, or what's it called?
I think it's called Lye, like Lye.
I don't know what it is, but you just got to flick the top of them before you pick it, so like the spores go out. Or somebody told us that. I don't know where we
The
were
spores go out?
like looking up all this information.
hillbilly
More of them grow. I don't know. Yeah,
It's an old mother's tale.
yeah. The only
So are
way
they big mushrooms?
some of the caps get fucking huge, but you just pinch the stem, and if it turns blue, you're good.
If they don't turn blue?
Probably don't eat it.
It's a basic cow shit.
Wow, so
It's
if you
just cow
pinch the
shit.
stem, so blue is
Like-
the psilocybin.
Like yeah, like the purple kind of dye. Like the mushroom will have like a skirt around the bottom of it. It's usually like a little purple skirt, and then on the top it's like a brown nipple. And then-
Dude,
yeah.
let's do that. Let's go to your hometowns, dude.
I think
Pick
we could do
mushrooms.
this shit in fucking eastern Colorado. I'm not gonna lie. We could probably make a
There's
whole
a
day
lot
out
of
of
fucking
it.
cows out here.
Yeah, we could just go east on 70 for 20
Do you
minutes
think
and make a video.
we could
out
just like call farmers in advance, like, hey man, we are college kids.
of it. Be like, we are fully aged adults.
We're
but-
33 years old and we want your mushrooms.
We're doing an experiment.
Yeah, we're gonna Tommy Boy it out there. We promise not to tip over any cows. We just want to play around. Be like, hey, buddy, that's not chocolate. That's not mud. Excuse me.
Hey, that's not
Yeah, but
See
I
that-
think we could definitely find a farmer that'd be like, "Do you mind if we gallivant for a couple hours?" He
Yeah.
wouldn't mind.
I love it. I see that's a dream of mine to go pick some like morel mushrooms or whatever they're called.
Next time you're touring down in the South,
You can go cut
Ask
the,
somebody about it. Just be like, hey, you guys know?
Those are sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I like Paul Stamets. Like I listen to all his podcasts. He's like the mushroom dude, psilocybin, and like how like a lot of these different mushrooms are like